107.5 The Game Podcasting is sponsored by Modern Exterminating, a family-oriented company. Professional, honest, and dependable pest control solutions. We're your one-stop shop for all pests.
The NFL this afternoon is informing its 32 clubs that any player that returns to college from a camp will be prohibited from signing with any NFL team the remainder of this season. It's a rule that's already on the books. So this isn't reactive the way we've seen from, say, the Big Ten and SEC this week when it comes to the collegiate organizations trying to prohibit professional players from returning. This is a rule that's already been on the books. It's interesting to me, Terry, if only because who would have thought this to begin with? Like, yeah, who goes back to college, right? I'd
love to know who came up with this idea whenever they decided to put that in the rules. Was that the guy you kind of look at him like, yeah, okay, Arnold, whatever, just put it in.
Yeah, it's a good attorney. It's going, hey.
That's what I mean. It's just like, whatever,
at least they were proactive. They thought about it.
And now that guy, by the way, is standing up going,
genius.
Who's the smart guy in the room?
Genius.
Me.
He just got a raise.
Yes, he did.
The NFL will also remind teams of a rule that any player signed to an NFL contract who is subsequently cut is a free agent. And that player may sign with another NFL club, the CFL, or return to college. But again, any player cut by a team who returns to college would still be considered a free agent and is not subject to a future draft.
Right.
We had a question about that earlier, and so the NFL is, I say earlier, but I think it was on Monday or yesterday, I forget which day, somebody texted in and asked us about that. And I thought that was the case, that once a player has gone through the process once, that's all they have to do.
Right. Well,
but everybody in the NFL has to go through the draft process once. And if you don't get drafted and you become a free agent, you're basically always a free agent.
During the Sorsby thing, remember we were talking about, how could he sit and get around the draft?
Yeah, why doesn't he just sign as a free agent?
Because you can't. You got to go through the draft process once.
Yeah, and that's collectively bargained, Gary.
Wow.
Yeah, how about that?
This collectively bargained
How about
thing?
that? Who
about that mess?
Who knew that you could have...
You can get two bodies of people together.
Labor on one side and management on the other. And what they do is they have representatives that negotiate.
What do they do? And
they talk.
What happens when they negotiate?
Well, they ultimately come to an agreement. That's the A part of the CBA, the agreement.
Oh.
And so and the C part is collective.
Oh, because they're both together.
Because they're together talking. And then the bargain part is because they go back and forth with different negotiations.
I just thought of this.
And points to make.
Has anyone ever thought about maybe this should happen in college athletics?
And then they call it a collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah, great idea for college to do this.
Works.
Too bad nobody's brought that up.
No, I agree. But hey, maybe one day.
Hey, by the way, there's another interesting thing. Pro Football Talk, Mike Florio posted this. CBS Sports is reporting that Lane Kiffin and LSU reached out to multiple players on NFL rosters or their representation in an effort to get them to bring a lawsuit against the NCAA and return to school. CBS Sports also reports that LSU has had conversations with others who remain in NFL camps ahead of the league's cut day on August 30th. So basically being very proactive.
I want to back up to just general before we get specific. A lot of times people will ask, how do the national writers often get these big stories first before local beat, whether it's professional sports beat, college sports beat? And it's because the agents...
I was going to say representation is the word in this story.
They want to get it out. They want to blast it.
Yes.
And so they're in touch with the national guy. Matt Norlander is a national guy.
Yep.
And he works for CBS Sports.
Yep.
Where's Matt Norlander? More likely than not, getting information that there was a conversation or two or three or a dozen or more.
Gee, Jay, you tell me.
Right? I mean, it's from the representation.
Right.
Yeah, they reached out to us.
And because,
it might not be Drew Rosenhaus, but it might be one of Drew Rosenhaus's, minions.
A lackey, somebody from the rep side leaks this information because in their mind it's like, okay, we want to get this out for. Usually it's more than one reason. There's multiple reasons to leak the information. So you leak that information to let the world know this is what's going on. You leak it to a national writer who's going to get it on his national platform. You typically very rarely leak it to the local beat guy first. He always gets it last, usually. Yeah.
And it makes sense. I mean, those of us who do it locally, I totally understand it. Again, the agent has a client, and you want it on blast.
Yeah, you want a national platform.
Yeah, so you're going to hit, so if you can, you're going to hit Schefter, or if it's not Schefter for an NFL thing, or Shams when it comes to the NBA, or in college, Jimmy Sexton, he's going to hit Feldman, or he's going to hit Heather Dinich, and then it will make its way to.
And sometimes it's in the best interest of the player or the best interest of the agent.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
But in this case, it's a little different. But and again, look, do I know with 100% certainty that a guy like Matt Norlander is currently getting this from agents? I do not. But it's incredibly plausible.
Okay, well, let me ask you this real quick. Who else would give Matt Norlander that information?
It's not going to be Lane Kiffin.
No, it's not going to be LSU
and it's not going to be Lane Kiffin's agent, who I assume is Jimmy Sexton.
No, it's not going to be any of those folks. It's not going to be.
And the players don't have Matt Norlander's number.
No, and the NFL isn't going to tell Matt Norlander.
They don't want it.
So who's that leave, Jay?
It leaves typically the representation.
Yeah, pretty much.
So again, if you
who has anything to gain, and you always have to go down that road, a lot of times it lands at the agent.
And it may well be in this case, like, hey, listen, don't blame our guy.
And that's what I was getting ready to say.
Like, don't blame my client.
What the reason that's coming out?
My client was told, come on.
Florio starts that in the article, in the Post. A lot of people are dogging the players for this.
Yeah.
This is a representative saying, look, my player's getting heat. Like, people are hitting him on social media with death threats and wanting to poison his food and stuff. No. Lane Kiffin started this.
Yeah.
And now that's you always look who's to gain by leaking the story.
Yeah. And you got to look out for your client.
Because you're getting paid handsomely by your client to look out for him.
Yeah. So, again, we'll see more, but I mean, Norlander's very good at his job.
And this I'll tell you this too, and it might not go anywhere depending on because it's such a fluid situation. But I don't know, call me crazy. If I'm going to pick fights, I'm typically not going to pick a fight with Mike Tyson in his prime with Customato as his trainer. That's the NFL.
Everybody has a plan till they get punched in the mouth.
Exactly.